we have it. This is the carrying case extended edition.
Thanks very much. You may want to know that we do have plenty of those extended edition carrying cases available in the company store. And in fact, Frank is looking at bundling those with his Quadras, so look for that in the store near you.
On Monday, we're finally going to get to announce these great new PowerBooks. It's also going to be great because I finally get to do a little bit of my laundry that's been piling up there. We have 3 products in our PowerBook family, the PowerBook 100, 140, and 170. It really spans the line between affordability and performance. It really gives our customers a choice to decide which product is most appropriate for their use and their budget. So let's go into a little bit of detail about the products.
Great, so looking at the processor with the PowerBook 100, it's a 68,000 at 16 megahertz. That's roughly the Classic 2 performance. The PowerBook 140 is an 030 at 16 megahertz. That's 2CX performance. And at the 2CI level, the PowerBook 170, 030, 25 megahertz with an FPU, the 882. In terms of RAM, all systems are expandable up to 8. The minimum configuration on the 100 and the 140 is 2 megabytes. And then on the 170, the minimum configuration is 4 megabytes. We'll be offering a 20 megabyte hard disk and a 40 megabyte hard disk in the line, as you can see up there. As well, as Bruce mentioned, we're introducing a line of products. So that means with the floppy drive, for example, we can give the customers choices. So with the PowerBook 100, they have the choice of an external floppy drive. So they can take advantage of the smaller size and weight of the 100 and leave the floppy drive at their hotel room or back at their office. If they prefer an internal floppy drive, then they have the PowerBook 140 and 170 to choose from. Also, we have a full complement of ports. We have built-in SCSI and built-in networking, both of which distinguish these PowerBooks from any other notebook on the market today, as well as we have sound in on the PowerBook 140 and 170, sound out on all 3 products. We have an internal modem, 2400 baud, 9600 baud data modem. It's going to be bundled in the US on the PowerBook 170. So as you can see, a lot of the functionality that you associate with Macintosh desktops are now in these notebooks that is sub 7-pound machines. So a lot of achievements there.
And we got these machines down to the true notebook size. So the PowerBook 100, 8.5 by 11 by 1.8 inches thick, weighs 5.1 pounds. The PowerBook 140 and 170 share the same plastic, slightly larger, right around 6.8 pounds. So but to get to this small size, you can't just take the Macintosh Portable today and sort of stick it in the incredible shrinking machine and get it down to 6 or 7 pounds. It's really a lot of long, hard work across the entire system. So let's take a look at some of the components.
Okay, let's start with keyboards, and this is the keyboard for the original Macintosh Portable we introduced in 1989. And for the PowerBooks, Bruce?
Yeah, here's our new keyboard. As you can see, it's much thinner, saves about a ½ inch in height, and saves about 3/4 of a pound. So quite a bit of savings just in a dang keyboard.
RAM cards. This is a 1 megabyte RAM card that works with the Macintosh Portable.
And here's the RAM expansion card for the PowerBook. So that's going to be in 2 and 4 megabyte configurations on this card.
And this beefy guy is the rechargeable battery for the Macintosh Portable.
And here we have the new battery for the PowerBooks. It's a nice cartridge style. Gives you 2 to 3 hours of battery life, so improvements here.
Okay, great. And Bruce, I'm kind of slow, but I'm noticing a trend here. Why do I always get all the big components?
That's because you're the big, strong guy here.
Thanks. Okay, so this is a 40 megabyte hard disk that went with the Macintosh Portable.
And right here, this is our new form factor, 2.5 inch hard disk. So this will be in 20 and 40 megabyte configurations.
And finally, the logic board of the Macintosh Portable.
And here we have it for the PowerBook 170. You can see the difference. Again, 2CI performance. So the next thing we're going to do is bring out the machines, right?
Sounds good to me.
So one of the things that customers always say is, can it fit in a briefcase? Thank you, Vanna.
Sure, Pat.
So here we go. Let's open it up. Frank didn't lock it, did he?
No.
Here we go, and you can see it fits in sideways in the briefcase. This is a briefcase that I got as a graduation present from high school and have never had use for it till now. And then we have the PowerBook 140, and where's Wayne?
Back here, Bruce, just rolling. I got a personal laser writer, as you can see, and also as you can see on the overhead, the PowerBook 100 is 8.5 by 11, so there's some commonality here, and that's in the paper tray, which contains the PowerBook 100. So Frank, eat your heart out. So it's 8.5 by 11 by, what's the?
Must be about 250 sheets.
Something like that. Okay, great.
Don't try that at home. That's a specially modified printer, so it's not. Okay, so just to get this straight. So we got it down to the notebook size, sort of the leading edge in terms of size and weight. But we have to figure out, how do you do a pointing device? It's always fun to first look at the competition and see how they do it. So what we have here is sort of your sort of a standard DOS notebook computer with your, what do you call this? I think you call this sort of like the Microsoft jump rope.
Well, I've got something over here, Bruce. It's not quite as aerobic as what you have there, but still no less attractive. I don't know. What do you call this?
I think like the Microsoft Wart.
The Wart. Okay. So Bruce has a knack for product names. So we've got this Wart here on the side. And what happens when you try to close the case, many people want to put these notebooks in their briefcase, is you'll be able to get all kinds of things in them, like leaded pencils and paper clips, small insects, I don't know, whatever in there, and it's going to cause reliability problems for your notebook. As well, here you've got this knob on the back that can break off as you put it in. So a lot of problems initially just as you look at it. Also, when we open it up, you'll notice this is a characteristic of all DOS notebooks, that the keyboard is pushed to the front. So as you use it, and you go ahead and type here, when you use it for any short period of time, your arm will naturally rest on either the tabletop or the laptop, depending on how you're working, and you're working in this kind of a position. And your tendons are in this position, your tendons in your wrist are tight. Increases the probability of tendinitis or carpal tunnel syndrome, as you may have heard. So some definite problems with both designs. What we've show you right now is taken a very different approach. We knew we wanted a pointing device from the beginning, and so we integrated it into the design of the machine, and so now we have a complete design. You notice here that the keyboard, first of all, is pushed back. The trackball is in the center. That leaves room for some palm rests. I can set my palms here, go ahead and type on the keyboard, and you can notice my wrist is straight. It's what we call in a neutral position, which is a very good ergonomic position. I could then use with my finger still on the keyboard, I can use my thumb to control the trackball, and then with my other hand I can control this button, which is the mouse button, or I can move down, use my index finger or middle finger, and then use the same button, they're dual button control, use this button to control the mouse. So it's both for right-handed and left-handed people. As well as, since the keyboard is, it's a really hot design. As well, the keyboard is pushed back, so if I use it in my lap, unlike DOS computers where I would be crunched in here, I have plenty of room to type and work in a small area. So a lot of advantages there.
This is a design that many of you participated in the overall testing of this, so you helped evolve this design, and thank you very much for that. One of the other things that came out of the user testing was these little lifters here to provide some angle on the keyboard when you're using it on the desktop. So a very nice complete design. Now going on to displays. On the PowerBook 170, we have a backlit active matrix display. This display is the fastest, the brightest, the highest contrast, widest viewing angle display out there. So it's by far the premier display technology available on notebook computers. Then on the PowerBook 100 and 140, we use Super Twist displays. These are state-of-the-art displays, better than the best that are out there on any other notebooks. So we have a great story on the displays and in the ergonomics with the PowerBooks.
Great. So as you can see, we've got a great ergonomic story as well. We have advantages in networking with built-in networking in all three products, built-in local talk, and file sharing, which is the standard feature of 7.0, which all these products will ship with 7.0. We can turn any one of the PowerBooks. I'll work with the PowerBook 100. We can turn that into a server and easily connect to the Macintosh desktop. So let's do that right now. Bruce, can you give me a hand?
Yeah, right here. Let's make sure.
Okay.
There's
no wires.
no wires.
Okay. No tricks.
No tricks. No tricks.
You can try this at home. And I'll connect back in there. So I've just got a standard local talk cable. I've got the alias to the PowerBook 100, and I'll just double click on the alias and type my password in.
Does it work?
And here I am. All the contents, and this is quite easy to use, all the contents of my PowerBook 100 hard disk available to me on my desktop. We show this to customers, and they are extremely excited about this capability, given the fact that many of the notebooks are second machine users, or second machines, so they can bring the PowerBooks easily into their office and connect with their desktop. Customers, though, you may be surprised, but a number of our customers also own DOS machines. It's true, and we need to help them at least make some kind of productive use of these machines for things other than boat anchors. So we're trying to do that, and with the help of Fairlawn, which they have a PhoneNet Talk PC product. We have a PhoneNet Talk PC card in here, as well as the software. We can essentially connect our PowerBook 100, 140, or 170 to the DOS desktop, just as I showed you with the Mac. So a great connectivity, a great networking story with both the DOS desktop and our Mac desktop.
Great, but we know that sometimes our people using notebook computers are going to want to have access to those network services, but it's a portable, so they aren't going to be at their desktop, and they aren't going to have this network connection through the standard connections there. And so we have a brand new product. This is a really cool demo. Let's begin this. This is a new product, Apple Talk Remote Access. It's one of our new networking communication products out there. Can you hear it dialing? It's using the internal modem here. And so what we're doing is connecting this Macintosh through the standard telephone lines to another Macintosh that's over my desktop over in Valley Green 6 that has a modem attached. So it communicates that, establishes the connection, and once it answers and gets there, I have full access to the network, and it could do anything as if I was a local member of the network. This product was announced this last week at NetWorld along with AppleShare 3.0. So these products are really important for how these notebook users want to use their computers. In fact, it's a product that's available for $199, but it's so important for people who are using notebooks that we're bundling the software with all three PowerBooks. To show you that I'm not cheating here, let's go to the chooser, and you can see that there's really no networks there, and boom, they disappeared. So I have established a connection there. So I have access to all my zones, just as if I was local there. What else can I do? I could do things like go to the Apple directory, and here it is. It shows up here. This would be nice to do when I want to call Randy, our Vice President, and say, thanks, Randy, for helping us create these new great products. Another great thing that you could do that I'm personally very happy to do is because I'm a pretty forgetful type of person sometimes. And when you're on the road, you want to have access to your hard disk. So what I'm running right now is using, I have Macintosh file sharing running on my desktop computer. And so in just a few seconds, what will appear is the entire contents of my hard disk. So I could just go over there, bring back a file back and forth. You know, a really important functionality. We show this to customers, and their jaws sort of drop. They're going like, "Wow, I didn't know you could do that type of thing." So again, it'll show up in just a second. And there.
Bruce, how are you getting the video out onto the screen?
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. I'm using I'm using a Radius PowerView. So we've been working with lots of third parties and doing products for add-ons for the PowerBooks. And so one of these products is the Radius PowerView. There are a few other companies doing video out, RAM, and other accessories for the product. So it really helps us out here.
Great. So you can see we've got advantages in ergonomics, networking, communication, and based on the early feedback that we've received from the customers, there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of demand for these products for the foreseeable future. But we're leaving nothing to doubt because we're going to price these products very aggressively. You can see the pricing here. We've got a full range from the Macintosh PowerBook 100, the base configuration, the 220 at $22.99, all the way up to the 170, the 440 with the modem bundled at $45.99. So a good offering there, as well as a full complement of peripherals, fax modems, SCSI cables, RAM cards, batteries, etc.